teams, and I think somewhere down the road, and maybe not too far down the road, given the NBA on Prime deal, they will allow sports betting on the television set through Alexa Plus.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Are we going to sit here today and acknowledge that the Indianapolis Colts right now are the best team in the AFC?
They are right now.
They can run the football with Taylor. They got a competent quarterback the way he's playing right now in Daniel Jones. They are well coached.
They never punt.
They never punt.
They never punt.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Well, maybe that Chiefs dynasty is actually crumbling. And listen, I don't blame you for that, but you would be wrong. Here's what actually happened in that game last night. See, the Kansas City Chiefs dominated the Jacksonville Jaguars pretty much up and down that field. They outgained them, Donnie. You ready by this? By over 150 yards of offense.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Question, where's the $100,000 going? Like, if I'm going to give it to Amari DiMercato as an apology? It does give us a little bit of insight, though, into that moment. Like, I wondered what Gannon had said to DiMercato there. It obviously did, cost Arizona a football game in a division that they cannot afford. But that is an interesting one.
Game time decisions, only on Sport.
And welcome in. It is in-game live game day here on the grid on this fabulous Friday. Scott Wetzel and Gabriel Morency for the next 2 glorious hours, right up until 10 p.m. Eastern time, watching, analyzing, betting the world of sports. Lot to bet on tonight. Not bad. Winner take all, Game 5 ALDS. Can Tariq Skubal do something he's not done this year yet, and not even done this postseason, believe it or not, yet? Can the Phoenix Mercury do what it rarely does in the WNBA Finals, facing elimination tonight? And can Rutgers do what really, for all intents and purposes, they've never done either? So we'll get to it all over the next 2 glorious hours. Great guest lineup. Tommy Lorenzo, host of the Cover the Weekend podcast. In about 10 minutes, Terry Bowden, former head coach of Bowden Blitz with Joe Lisi, seen right here on SportsGrid, will join us in about an hour or so. Opposite picks coming up in an hour and a half, and then the great Cam Stewart to close out the program. First up, before we get to it all, it is game time. What's betting you off, Gabe?
Well, we're ready to rock here tonight. College football. Listen, there's a big baseball game this evening, but we've got a college football playoff game with somewhat playoff ramifications. North Texas are in the mix right now at 5-0. South Florida are in the mix right now at 4-1. They're going head-to-head. This is the first time ever in the history of North Texas football that they've sold out their stadium before. So we've got 30,000-plus rocking in Denton, Texas tonight. And the South Florida Bulls have turned the ball over 2 times already in the first quarter of this football game. So we're fired up for a big night tonight. Big, huge weekend of college football set to come on Saturday as well.
Yeah, you got 6 teams. We'll throw out Temple, Gabe, but you got 5 legitimate teams in that conference. It's going to be this way from here on out as far as big games, whether it's Navy or Memphis or North Texas, Tulane, South Florida, all undefeated. They're all going to play each other. So that conference actually should be a pretty good conference. So, like I said, a lot to bet on tonight. So let us start with our opening pickoff, as we like to call it. I'll go first here, Gabe, because they do start right away. I'm going to go WNBA. I'm going to grab Las Vegas laying to 2.5 against Phoenix. You know, they're 18-2 their last 20 games against Phoenix. A lot of those close wins. This year, they've had 5 wins now, 3 points or less, but they keep on finding ways to beat Phoenix. And more importantly, Phoenix keeps on finding ways to lose these games. I love betting against a team that's down 3-0, knowing that Game 5, even if they win, is on the road. All the morale is gone after they try and win Game 3. Give me Las Vegas to win tonight, and I'll take my chances they cover the 2.5.
I'm going to play Las Vegas on the money line in this basketball game. I think they're going to close out the Phoenix Mercury tonight. The fact that Sadu Sabali is out now for the Phoenix Mercury. So, to me, this is going to be the end of the yellow brick road for this Mercury team. They had a hell of a year. They don't match up well with the Vegas Aces. And don't forget, Vegas had a 17-game win streak going into the playoffs, right? They got challenged in the playoffs. Teams pushed them to the brink. But I think they're going to close it out tonight. No Sably. I just don't see how the Phoenix Mercury are going to be able to hang tonight. I wouldn't be surprised, in fact, if it started to get away from them. But there have been close games. So give me the Aces on the money line.
All right. I'm going to go with the over. I've given up on the under. I thought it was going to be an under series. Tried a game 1, lost. Tried a game 2, lost. Had my system for game 3, lost again. That's it. You don't have to hit me over the head 4 times. 3, yes, but not 4. Give me the over 163.5 Las Vegas and Phoenix.
We've cashed the overs in this series, but I'm staying away from the total. I have I'm a little bit concerned that, it could be a little bit of a slower game. Phoenix could kind of quit as the game goes on if they're losing and they realize, what, we're down by double digits and we're down 3-0. Will there be that same type of urgency, right? Well, Vegas, I can see Vegas being a little sloppier tonight, but Asia Wilson is a killer, right? Just point blank. She's averaging over 27 points a game in this series. Phoenix don't have anybody that can really match up with her. And Asia Wilson in big-time games just steps up even more so. And I think tonight will just sort of be like, all right, Asia, here's the ball, finish them off for us, right? I mean, she's got 34, 28. She scored 26 or more, guys, in 5 of her last 6 basketball games. And, when she doesn't, it's kind of like she doesn't have to, right? They slowed her down in one of the games. I bet under 26.5 earlier in the series, and she ended up with 21. Right, so there was one game where she was kind of just like okay, only she didn't take over. And 21's a lot at WNBA still, guys, actually. It's only a 40-minute game. So look for Asia Wilson to dominate. I bet her over 25.5.
All right. I'm going to go. This might be the best one, or at least the most fun for me for whatever reason, Gabe. My next one. I'm going to go under 9.5 strikeouts to Tariq Skubal. Got to lay a little juice, minus the 154 you see there. 9 strikeouts. That's a lot. You need 10 strikeouts. He's had 10 strikeouts in 10, oddly enough, of his 34 starts. So he does get there, but that's only 1/3 of the time, less than 1/3 of the time. He's pitched 3 times against Seattle this year, 9 in the playoffs, 5 and 8. I don't hear a 10 in there anywhere. He's come close. He's going to be in there for as long as they possibly can keep him. No two ways about that. But 10 strikeouts is a lot of strikeouts. Give me under 9.5 strikeouts, Skubal.
It is an insanely high prop that you never see a pitcher that high. His out prop is 20.5 tonight. So you basically, 20.5. You have to go a full 7 innings to win that bet. Therefore, listen, I'm going to take the under in this baseball game. I want to stay away from worrying about getting 10 strikeouts. Yeah, it's a really low total, but I'm expecting Kirby to be dominant tonight as well. We saw it last night in the Dodger and the Phillies game with 2 sort of ace pitchers on the hill in an intense situation. There were shadows there, so it was a little bit different. But listen, neither of these teams tear the cover off the baseball to begin with. So it's super low, but it's low for a reason. Give me under 6 in this baseball game.
All right, last one for me. I'm going to grab Rutgers plus the 10.5 at Washington. Washington coming off its Super Bowl, a loss last week to Ohio State. Rutgers coming off a bye. Schiano's numbers are great off byes. I don't have them in front of me, but it's somewhere in the 16-3-1 range. Obviously not all with Rutgers, but he does very well in getting his team mentally prepared, physically prepared. That's going to help with the long trip from Jersey to Washington. Double digits, a lot of points. I know they haven't really, and that's what I said in the opening, they've never really won a big-time Big Ten game, believe it or not. They've gone, certain points where they'll beat the Indianas and the Minnesotas of the world, but I'm going to put Washington in that upper echelon. It's a big moment for them. They could score this year. I think they have a chance for the backdoor cover, even if they're down 17. So give me Rutgers plus the 10.5 game.
I'll wrap it up. I'll get my Rutgers and Washington picks a little bit later on, but I'm going to go with Kirby. We were talking about Tariq Skubal's strikeout prop, incredibly high at 9.5. If I had to play it, I would actually play the over, believe it or not, just because I think he's going to be in the game. pretty much for the entire game. They're going to leave him out there as long as they can. But Kirby is flying under the radar. You got 9.5 strikeouts on one side. Kirby's only 5.5. Kirby sailed over this number in the last 4 starts, right? I expect this to be a pitcher's duel. There's going to be strikeouts on both sides for both teams. So let's go over 5.5 strikeouts for Kirby tonight.
All right. How about the over-under, which is now at 6.5? I saw it earlier today at 5.5. I mean, they were really thinking this was going to be a 2-1 game. It might be. They just started top of the first inning, and Detroit has a runner on first base already. But should be a lot of fun.
That's why it's moved half a run. They already moved it. Like, it started at 6, but it starts with a runner on first. So just like that, we get to 6.5.
Yeah. Listen, Scoopel hasn't been awful, but he's yet to beat Seattle, whether it's in the postseason or regular season. He's given up 9 runs in only 17 innings. Just getting underway. Tommy Lorenzo coming up next. You're on the grid.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
At this event, people from Amazon and Alexa made it very clear that in addition to Sports Highlight coming up, you will be able to perhaps buy sports tickets to events, buy movie tickets, arrange fantasy football teams, and I think somewhere down the road, maybe not too far down the road, given the NBA on Prime deal, they will allow sports betting on the television set through Alexa Plus.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
What worries me, for the future, for the rest of this season for the 49ers is Christian McCaffrey, because all these other guys are out. This guy is getting more workload than anybody else in the NFL. The catches, the carries, the blocking, the chip blocks, the protection. He is just being worked over, and I don't think that is, real good for the 49ers.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Basically a year's worth of starts at this point, because remember, Drake May was not the starter out of the gate during his rookie year last year. That was Jacoby Brissett. There have been some, encouraging performances and, I think some flashes of what could be upper echelon talent within the scope of the league. But going into this year, it was, we're going to find out.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Yanks ain't looking good. My Phillies aren't looking good. Can we have a pity party this morning? I mean, what gives?
Listen, you want to talk about cities that aren't doing too well here. You mentioned the Yankees on the brink here. Jets, forget about it. 0-5. Giants, you lose to a winless New Orleans team. Things ain't any better here in the Big Apple. I said, I think sports fans are maybe praying for the New York Rangers, who are certainly better than the New York Islanders.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe just getting underway. Hour number 1. So we got our opening pickoff all set. No better time to bring in our good buddy Tommy Lorenzo, host of Cover the Weekend podcast. You can get it at your favorite podcast stores and homes. Cover the Weekend podcast. What's going on, Tommy? How are you today, bud?
Doing well. North Texas got off to a good start, so we'll see if that continues. But that line bounced around.
They just scored again.
Too, so we'll see. Oh, yeah, even better. Good. We'll see what
14,
happens there. But
14-7. We're off and running right now. A lot of people thought it was going to be a track meet, and it has been so far. Think about it. South Florida have turned the ball over 2 times already in this game in the first quarter.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. There's going to be a lot of scoring tonight.
Who did you like North Texas in that game then, I'm assuming?
North Texas. Got them at a pick 'em. So it was nice to see the steam be on the steam there, but we'll see. It will be a track meet. They're going to go back and forth. The turnovers really hurt South Florida early on in this game, so we'll see if North Texas can stay ahead here. But it's going to be punch for punch, I think.
The size of South Florida, to me, the size of South Florida is going to be too much for North Texas as it goes on, I think. Like I said, South Florida have turned the ball over twice on offense, so they were sloppy on their drives. They finally get a touchdown here. We know North Texas can score. They score 44 points a game, but they give up like 168 yards a game on the ground or so. I think South Florida, we see Bryant already, or Brown picking up big chunks on the ground already. In the long haul, Scott, I think that they're down 7 right now. So, yeah, you're getting 4.5, 5.5. I see 5.5 right now. I think it's a great bet. I think they're still going to win the football game.
Yeah. As far as the over-under, 73.5. I thought it was going to be high scoring, but I shied away from the 66.5. I did take South Florida. You want to give me a team that's beaten Florida and Boise State against North Texas? I get that. I was watching the pregame show, guys. This North Texas
There's
quarterback.
their third turnover.
Oh, jeez. This guy
third
didn't even start
turnover
in high school.
the first quarter.
The North Texas quarterback. How they had 4 possessions is amazing. But all right, now it's locked right now. So,
on the last play of the first quarter, Brown throws it down the field and it's picked off. Wow. I think I'm going to click. In fact, I'm already on the over. I expected a track meet. It started off a little slower, actually. Right, there was a touchdown. We were about halfway through the first quarter, and there was only 1 touchdown scored. South Florida turning the ball over. Obviously didn't help the situation, but it's really opened up right now. And I wouldn't bet the under 73.5. And in fact, I'm betting the over 73.5, Scott.
FanDuel's got it, guys, at 76.5, Gabe. How about that?
Wow.
So,
I'm getting
FanDuel's
some
always
value
higher.
here.
Yeah, at 73.5 is definitely value.
Yeah.
So
I don't trust South Florida's quarterback. I don't trust South Florida's quarterback at all. If South Florida wants to win this game, they're going to have to run, pound it. Quarterback can run the ball too. They start running the ball and but I mean, they're running the ball the first part of the first quarter and fumbled twice too. So I was going to say run the ball to avoid those turnovers, those interceptions, and they're still doing it. So it's going to be a wacky game. First sellout there at North Texas, and I don't know how long. Scott's right.
And ever.
This kid, yeah, never. Probably Benton, Texas. So we'll see. Fun stuff though. Fun Friday night of college football for sure.
Yeah, but Scott, we see this. Like I told you that. Like the quarterback, like you said. So he was the backup quarterback on the high school football team. He never started. He never played.
Yeah.
He was the backup quarterback. He was 6th string at North Texas. Walk on, 6th string. So there was never intention of him ever playing. He bides his time. He ends up playing right now. But it's wild, Scott. I told you the story of Jake Bates, the kicker on the Detroit Lions. Same thing. The guy had never taken a field goal in his life before the XFL. Think about that. He was the long kicker specialist on Arkansas, so he did the kickoffs. He never took a field goal in a college game in his life. He never took a kick in high school. He was a soccer player in high school, and he was the same thing. They were like, you can really kick, so why don't you kick off for us? He kicked off in high school for them. He did such a good job. Arkansas said, hey, you want to be our long kicker? You can kick off for us. We already have a field goal kicker, but you can kick off for us. He never kicked off in his freaking life. He retires from football, and basically the XFL had a open tryout in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and he used to go to the park all the time on his own and just drill field goals. And people like in the park would see him and go, dude, like, how come you're not a pro football player? You hit like 65-yard field goals. He's like, nah, I just do it for fun. His wife encouraged him, go to the tryout, see what happens. He gets signed by the Detroit Vipers or whatever the hell their name is, the Detroit Panthers. That was it, the Michigan Panthers. Hits a couple of 62-yarders, Scott. Now he's on the Detroit Lions. You can't make it up, you see? Perseverance pays off for some people.
Yeah.
Or you don't have to be a blue chip. How many 5-stars have busted, Scott? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'd like to know who the starting quarterback was of that high school team that listen, I know it's North Texas and not Ohio State, but it's Division
I thought about that.
I.
What's he doing now tonight? Where is he now?
Yeah.
Is he working at Jack in the Box? Or is he?
Yeah,
they should say, oh, by the way, he's on the Georgia Bulldogs now or something. They didn't say where he was.
Yeah, so
it's funny. I thought the same thing, Scott. I wonder what that quarterback, that his high school first stringer's doing right now. Yeah.
Right?
There's probably
Fresno
a rich
State,
oilman
Colorado
that doesn't
State.
care about this.
Yeah, probably. Right, his father got him the starting job and everything else in high school, and so Fresno laying 6.5 at a god awful Colorado State team. What do you like in that one, Tommy?
You would think take Fresno State here, but a funky spot here on Friday night for Fresno State. Certainly not going to take Colorado State. Don't like what their offense is doing. I actually like the under a lot in this game. There's offensive injuries on both sides of the ball to both Fresno State and Colorado State's offense. Fresno State has done pretty well, 5-1, 4-1, whatever they are. They've been playing very well. But man, when they go on the road, they average less than 300 yards a game on the road, total yards. So whenever they've left Fresno, their offense just doesn't click. So I think this total at 47.5. I think under is a good play. They're actually, the Bulldogs are averaging 279 yards of total offense in their 3 road games. That first one against Kansas, but they played Oregon State and Nevada. So Colorado State doesn't have a good quarterback. I just think a lot of it lends itself here to a lower scoring game tonight.
Yeah, this is the coach that could get fired if they lose. This is the coach gets fired. He's probably going to get fired anyways. Colorado State don't want to be this bad, right? Like, the Colorado State expectation is, we go 7-5, 8-4, and make a bowl game. He got in the news, Scott, if you remember, a couple of years ago for trash talking with Deion Sanders and stuff, but it's a disaster. Like, they're getting killed. That's the problem. Like, they're not just losing. They're getting killed in these football games. Look what happened against San Diego State. San Diego State murdered them. Well, that was last Friday night. What was the final score there? 45-24. That wasn't really 45-24.
No way.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
Are we going to sit here today and acknowledge that the Indianapolis Colts right now are the best team in the AFC?
They are right now.
They can run the football with Taylor. They got a competent quarterback, the way he's playing right now, in Daniel Jones. They are well coached.
They never punt.
They never punt.
They never punt.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
I told you Vladimir Guerrero would hit a home run. He hits a home run on his first pitch. 2-run shot, 2-0 Jays. And I gave you Suarez earlier. I'm telling you, Scott, Contreras last night, Story the other night, bro, every night I've been hitting these home run props. And not the easy Ohtani ones at plus 190. These are plus 450s, baby.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Florida State put up 4.
All right, welcome back in-game live. Game day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 1. We're chatting with Tommy Lorenzo, guest you see it here all the time here on the grid, host of Cover the Weekend podcast at your favorite podcast homes. So, little baseball here. How about that? Deciding Game 5. We got Tariq Skubal on the hill. They're in the bottom of the first inning, no score. You got Detroit favorites as they were to start the game, right around that minus 128. Over-under is down to 5.5. It was 5.5, then it pumped up to 6.5 because they put a runner on but didn't score. So 5.5, Tommy. Deciding Game 5, Detroit wins the first one. They lose the second one with Skubal. He's actually yet to win this postseason in 3 starts, 2 against Cleveland, and is yet to beat Seattle in 3 starts. Hasn't lost all those games, but he hasn't won, or the team hasn't won any of those. It's kind of a quirky little thing there. Your thoughts on Detroit and Seattle tonight?
Yeah, best pitcher in baseball. You figure that he's due, right, for his team to win one of his starts there. But, here the intriguing thing is the over-under, how it's bounced around. I think it's back at 5.5 now in game.
Yeah.
It was 5.5, 6. I think it's wise to just wait for the bullpens here to see if they can get into the pens, and then maybe you activate an overplay to see if, the bullpens, aren't doing that well. I think Seattle's bullpen has been good during the regular season, but ERA over 6 in the playoffs. And, Detroit's bullpen is really mediocre. So I think if you're going to get involved in game with the over, the under, maybe go over once the bullpens get involved. And, there's always that extra innings possibility as well, given how good these starting pitchers are.
Which one do you think poses a bigger issue? Go ahead, Gabe.
I was just going to say, we should note that the Mariners basically have said they're going to use their starters here tonight. Like everybody's available type of deal. Like they're not playing around. Yeah. Like everybody, pretty much, any arm that's not going to fall off is available for the Mariners tonight. Which, we see, right? Teams often now start to go to their starting pitchers instead of the bullpen in the playoffs. So, I saw earlier that Gilbert was available for them. Just throwing it out there.
Right.
There's no tomorrow. Yeah, there's no tomorrow, so they could very well do that. But as a Dodger fan, I've seen some starters come out of the pen, and that can get shaky. Although lately it's been great.
Yeah.
And you saw what happened last night with starters coming out of there on the Philly side. They held the Dodgers down pretty good. But again, I think if this game,
the modern pitcher handles it better. The first team to ever do it were the Montreal Expos in 1981 against the Los Angeles Dodgers. And it's known as Blue Monday, but the Expos went to their best starting pitcher, Steve Rogers, who had never, ever been a closer before. And it was unheard of, Scott, in those days, right? They were like, what are you doing? You go to the bullpen. Like, you're bringing the starter in, and it was the Expos were sort of ahead of the curve. We're going to go with our best pitcher. He gave up a solo home run to Rick Monday. And the relief pitchers have never forgiven him. Like, they've written books about it. They've literally.
October 16th, if memory serves me right, it was Blue Monday. I certainly remember that as a kid.
You remember that? It was a Monday afternoon. It was 1-1 in the ninth inning. And, Rick Monday hit the home run in Montreal. And then they beat the Yankees after in the World Series. Fernando Mania year.
Someone got to stay home from school that day. Little kid grown up in the ghetto area of LA got to stay home from school to watch that. So
what's funny? I was in Montreal. And I went to a game earlier in the series. I was 11 years old, and remember it was a rain out, Tommy. They were supposed to play on Sunday. Right. The game was rained out. That's why it was on the Monday afternoon. It was, and I remember at school in Montreal, they told everybody we're going to put it like we're going to watch the game in class today.
The library or something,
Yeah, and I still know. Remember, Scott, they used to roll those TVs in on the metal wheels?
Yeah, in the car. Yep, yeah.
Roll the TV in the room, black and white. Like, at the time, it was cool. Hey, we're watching TV in school, right? You know what I mean? So they're rolling the TV. But I'll never forget, Tommy, too, as an 11-year-old.
Sticking out the back.
Yeah, exactly. I told the teacher, I'm leaving. Like, I basically said, I have permission from my parents. I'm leaving. I left. I went home. I'll never forget that day. Yeah, 1981.
As a Dodger bettor, you're a Dodger fan. Gabe's a Dodger fan and bettor as well. Does it matter, Detroit or Seattle? I'm betting on Seattle, but I'm actually rooting for Detroit to win because I think they would pose less of an issue for the Dodgers.
Are you forgetting about the Toronto Blue Jays, Scott?
No,
Blue Jays are the ones.
I'm just eliminating all these good teams. That's all.
If I'm the Dodgers, and if for some reason the Blue Jays fall short and it's one of these two teams, I'd rather see Detroit. Seattle's pitching quite good, so that's my thing.
Yeah,
it's got to be the Tigers, Scott. Not to dismiss them, right? But come on, like, who do they have?
Tigers aren't. Yeah, they're not beating.
I guess you could pitch Skubal 3 times in a 7-game series.
Yeah, they would be lucky enough to be able to do that, matching it up. So,
they go 7.
this event, people from Amazon and Alexa made it very clear that in addition to Sports Highlight coming up, you will be able to perhaps buy sports tickets to events, buy movie tickets, arrange fantasy football teams, and I think somewhere down the road, maybe not too far down the road, given the NBA on Prime deal, they will allow sports betting on the television set through Alexa Plus.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Are we going to sit here today and acknowledge that the Indianapolis Colts right now are the best team in the AFC?
They are right now.
They can run the football with Taylor. They got a competent quarterback, the way he's playing right now, in Daniel Jones. They are well coached.
They never punt.
They never punt.
They never punt.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Well, maybe that Chiefs dynasty is actually crumbling. And listen, I don't blame you for that, but you would be wrong. Here's what actually happened in that game last night. See, the Kansas City Chiefs dominated the Jacksonville Jaguars pretty much up and down that field. They outgained them, Donnie. You ready by this? By over 150 yards of offense.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Question, where's the $100,000 going? Like, if I'm going to give it to Amari DiMercato as an apology? It does give us a little bit of insight, though, into that moment. Like, I wondered what Gannon had said to DiMercato there. It obviously did, cost Arizona a football game in a division that they cannot afford. But that is an interesting one.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Thanks to Tommy Lorenzo again. Check out his podcast, Cover the Weekend podcast. So back and forth they go as far as college football. South Florida scores. Wow, this is going to go over. It's listen again. I was scared off at 66.5 game to start the game, but we got 14 all. Outside of turnovers, I don't think we've had a punt in the game. So
no, there's been punts, Scott.
That's
what's fascinating. Yeah, I was going to say it's been fascinating. So there's been 3 turnovers and 1 punt, and basically in a quarter and 5 minutes of play. Yet we still have 28 points right now. You know what it is with this game, and it's even me. I'm like, man, this is a big football game tonight. There's a lot on the line. Everybody's just assuming that it's going to turn into this 80, 90 point type of game. And part of me, Scott, was thinking, maybe South Florida slows them down a little bit. Right? South Florida's defense has slowed down better teams than this. But, no, they've been baited into North Texas style of game. But, dude, South Florida play fast, Scott. They play fast. Like, people talk about North Texas. Like, South Florida, dude, they snap the ball like every 10 seconds. Like, they get back to the line. They really snap the ball fast. So, even though they turned the ball over and North Texas punted once, both teams play so quickly. Like, South Florida, whatever they do it fast. And their quarterback is fast. So he takes off. He picks up a bunch of yards. Next thing he throws a pass. Next thing you know, they're in the red zone. And then North Texas, you see North Texas, Scott, this the Mesta maker, this kid throws the ball down the field. Like they don't do like the dink and dunk stuff. It's a lot of that 15, 20-yard stuff over the middle, like big chunk plays that they throw.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I a lot of times I refer to the old, don't make this stuff harder than it has to be. And I understand, Gabe, if 1 beats 2 and 2 beats 1, then 1 should beat 3 or whatever. You know how that works. But
MMA math, we call it in the MMA world. It doesn't work. This guy beat that guy and he lost to this guy, so it means this guy will beat that guy.
Should beat that guy, right?
Yeah.
But I got a game, that I got a team that beat Florida on the road. They beat Florida. And not only beat them, held them to 16 points. And then they beat a great Boise State team. I mean, you want to give me 2.5 points with that club?
I told people earlier today, like South Florida, they said, Denton's going to be rocking tonight. I'm like, they won in Gainesville. You think North Texas is going to scare them? Like, come on, man.
Right.
There's 30,000 people, Scott. We should note, too. There's bigger high school stadiums in Texas. right? Their stadium holds 30,000 people.
Literally.
So,
yeah,
no, and it's funny, not even exaggerating exactly. We all know, like, the Texas high school football, but even in the area, Scott, I was reading the local Denton newspaper today, and they were saying that there are 11 local high schools that have, like, that are bigger than the team than North Texas.
Oh, jeez.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, nobody cares about North Texas football. Nobody.
Yeah.
Like, the students that go there, some of them go and whatever, but, like, I mean, Scott, look, all you need to know is they've never sold out a game once in their school history.
Yeah.
That's amazing to me,
They were good.
Figure like the new stadium, the one game. Yeah, remember they used to score a lot of points. They went to a bowl game. They were like 9-3 or 10-2 or something.
2-3 years ago. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they were like 7-0, 8-0, and they had a really good year. Yeah. So
no, they're like a high school team in Texas to people. Like they're so look how generic their uniforms are even.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like
there's no flashy helmet. It's like like no. We're the mean green. We don't have a lot of money. All right, like we're just the mean green.
Yeah.
Just keep it simple, white and green. They're wearing their black tonight, but you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So they were saying that normally the local high school games are bigger with the local news than a North Texas football game is. Yeah, but they're fired up. Big game in Missouri tomorrow, too, with Alabama that they're talking about. I just threw that out there because I've heard a lot of people say it's the biggest game in 50 years at Missouri. And I'm thinking, it's like, you guys did you won the freaking SEC. Like, people have short memories. Like, remember, Scott, when they came into the SEC and they shocked everybody? They went to the conference championship game with Franklin as their quarterback, and they were good.
Yep.
So, like, no, it's the biggest. It's a big game. It's one of the big, no doubt. It's one of your biggest games in franchise history. But it's like, let's not dismiss the fact that they freaking went to the SEC Conference Championship game in like their first year. That was a pretty big game 15 years ago, too, right? Like, people have short memories and dismiss this stuff. I saw there, it really angered me as a Michigan fan. They asked the dumbass kids outside the stadium last week if you could bring back like any Michigan football player. Like, Scott, they were all talking about like Blake Corum. Like guys on last year's team. No, like that's like that wasn't the question. Like I would have gotten mad. I would have been like, no. I don't mean like from last year's kid, punk. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, great Michigan foot. Like, if you could have one Michigan football player, like that was the question.
Brady,
if you could take one Michigan past great and put him on this team right now, who would it be? And they're like J.J. McCarthy. Blake Corum. And for the record, my answer would have been Desmond Howard because we need some offensive spark. Yeah. Desmond Howard returning some kicks nowadays. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yeah. I mean, I would say Tom Brady if I can get Tom Brady, NFL Tom Brady versus college.
Yeah, but Tom Brady wasn't Tom Brady when he was at Michigan.
That's
still.
what I mean. Yeah. Jim Harbaugh. Then
he was good.
He was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, Harbaugh. So, thing with Brady, though, it's kind of a fallacy, Scott, because people are like, oh, he didn't do anything in Michigan. He was like picked. Yeah, the guy, no, he was the Orange Bowl MVP. He beat Alabama.
Or Orange Bowl.
So he went, he went 10-2. He beat Alabama. He was the MVP in the Orange Bowl. And people act as though he was like the little sister of the poor. You know what I'm saying? And he came from Kennesaw State. It's like, he was the MVP of the Orange Bowl. It's more, it was more a vindication, Scott, on how stupid NFL teams are. For real.
Who was the Michigan quarterback that played Washington? With Knucklehead there. That lasted for a cup of coffee in the NFL as he was.
Oh, the Ryan Leaf
quarterback. Yeah, the Ryan Leaf. Who
Washington
played,
State. That was the Rose Bowl against Washington State when Michigan won the national championship. Yeah. The quarterback was Brian Greasy.
Right.
Brian Greasy.
I was thinking of Brady. Brian Greasy. Yeah. Yeah.
Greasy won. Brady did not.
Yeah. Think about that.
But you know what? Brady was on the team. Brady was on the team. Brady, it should be noted, so it's not a shot at Brady. Greasy was older than Brady. So, like the way the pecking order went, Greasy was the starter, Brady was the backup, and then when Greasy left, Brady became the starter, and then the much hyped, I'm sure you remember, Drew Henson became the backup.
Oh, yes.
And people wanted Tom out, right? It was one of those, thanks, Tom,
Henson
but...
was big. Yeah.
Dude, Drew Henson was like, the projected number one pick in the NFL draft.
Drafted by the
Super
Yankees.
hyped up. Super hyped up, Scott. And you know what? He was playing football. He would have been the number one pick. Slam dunk, guys. No, not even a debate. He would have been a number one pick in the NFL draft. He's played quarterback for the Michigan Wolverines. And he secretly one night gets a phone call from George Steinbrenner, who tells him, even if you're the number one pick, you really won't make all that much money in the NFL. He goes, I'll give you a $5 million signing bonus right now, and I'll sign you to the Yankee organization. He took the money and he quit Michigan.
Yeah.
I think that movie, Trouble with the Curve, was about him, Scott. He couldn't hit. So
yeah.
he was on the Columbus Clippers or whatever the team, you know what I mean? He was on like
Clippers,
the Yankees.
Yep. That was it.
Yeah. So he toiled around the Yankees organization, never developed into more than like a 230, 240 type of hitter, and then wanted back in the NFL. And then NFL teams, you remember the old supplemental draft, Scott? Remember they had the supplemental draft in the offseason?
Yeah.
Like for players that weren't drafted and stuff like that. So
he
teams went
somewhere.
Houston Texans. Teams went crazy. They were like, hey, Drew Henson wants to play football again. We want in. And Houston ended up getting him, the Houston Texans, and everybody was like, wow, Houston got Drew Henson. He lost his touch. Guy was playing baseball for 3 years, Scott. He lost his football touch. He's one of the guys that just made the wrong choice. But you remember in those days, everybody, if you had a chance to play baseball, you took it instead of football, Scott. That was the deal in those days,
Yeah. Now, quarterback in the NFL, you're going to make $1 gazillion. But back then, Steinbrenner was right. Yeah. And what
Kyler Murray was the 9th overall pick. Kyler Murray was the 9th overall pick of the first round of the Major League Baseball by the Athletics.
Yeah.
He chose football.
Right. All right, in-game live. We'll check out the scores when we come back here in the grid.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
Are we going to sit here today and acknowledge that the Indianapolis Colts right now are the best team in the AFC?
They are right now.
They can run the football with Taylor. They got a competent quarterback, the way he's playing right now, in Daniel Jones. They are well coached.
They never punt.
They never punt.
They never punt.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
I told you Vladimir Guerrero would hit a home run. He hits a home run on his first pitch. 2-run shot, 2-0 Jays. And I gave you Suarez earlier. I'm telling you, Scott, Contreras last night, Story the other night, bro, every night I've been hitting these home run props. And not the easy Ohtani ones at old plus 190. These are plus 450s, baby.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Florida State put up 498 rushing yards on this defense, 8 rushing touchdowns, and they almost averaged 10 yards per carry.
Tough scene.
I mean, you got to be kidding me. It should be 60 to 7.
Yeah. Give me the 7.
I just gave you the 7.
Exactly. And
are you
the
on
extra
this?
Point. I'm thinking field goal and maybe a
but
safety.
Are you on
Joe.
this? This is
Over
your best
3.5.
Okay.
Didn't you read the screen? What are you not paying attention to the show?
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 1. So we got baseball. Let us go to that. Although North Texas just scored again, up to 78.5, 20 to 14 pen of the extra point. We may get 100 points in this game. Literally. I don't. This might be, Gabe, one of those games. You see it from time to time on weekends. You know, usually the old North Carolina Wake Forest games. You know, where just no matter what number they put out there, over under, If you bet the over, you won't lose. Everyone.
I don't
hit,
think.
So.
I don't think 78.5 is crazy right now. Like, I usually chase. I'm already in on the over the game, so I got an over 67 earlier. I know it closed at 68, but I got a 67. I did click over 73.5 already, and I'm thinking about it now with 78 now because, like, really, I don't know. We don't even have to get to 100, Scott, but wouldn't you be very hard-pressed to believe that this game isn't not going to get into the 80s now at this point?
Yeah.
Like, we're already at 35. There's 6.5 left in the first half. There could be be 3 touchdowns, but there could be, let's say, 2 touchdowns, at least 1 more in the first half here.
Right.
Probably two.
Or at least 10 points anyway. Although North Texas doesn't kick field goals.
I don't even know if they're kicking field goals, these guys. Like, it's just like, it's taking North Texas, if you notice, it takes them about 3 minutes to score when they get the ball.
I know.
Like every time, like you look up, it's like 3-minute chunks. It's like, they get the ball, and it takes them about 2.5, 3 minutes to get down the field only.
In fact, let me check real quickly. They're scoring.
And it ain't taking South Florida long to move down the field either when they get the ball.
Yeah.
Like, the defenses are overwhelmed.
Yeah, it's just like, and it's so fat. 10 plays in 3 minutes, 12 plays in 4 minutes.
Like I said, Scott, I don't even look at that. I can tell. Yeah. Boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom, 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 boom. Yeah, it's just like, and neither of these teams are going to start running the ball and slow it down. So it's not like they are who they are. This is North Texas's offense. Like they're doing what they do. They're not going to change it. They're liking it, and they're like, and good point as far as a lot of points. Listen, if North Texas are not going to let up, their head coach knows his defense can get torched.
Stinks.
So if he can hang up 58 in this game, he will. Not to mention to make that statement to the voters, Scott, right? Hey, look, we just hung 58 on South Florida that beat the Florida Gators, right? I mean, it'd be a big feather in their cap. We're 6-0.
Yeah, I had to look it up and see what the tiebreakers are in the American Conference. And if, like, point differential, because you could have 3 teams have the same conference record. There's so many teams. So.
I read this earlier in the day today about North Texas, Scott. They don't play Memphis and they don't play Tulane. Wow.
Ooh.
Like, think about that. They get through this game. It gets real for them. Like, they get through this game. They're probably going to the conference championship game. They're going to avoid Memphis. Let's see their schedule. But they don't play Memphis, and they don't play Tulane, who are the best teams in the conference.
Yeah. They got Navy. That's it. They got UAB stinks. They got Rice stinks. They got Temple stinks. They got Charlotte stinks. Texas San Antonio's not too bad, boy. Navy's the only one. Navy in this game. That's it.
Yeah. I read their coach even admitted, Scott, that he had to chill the players out tonight about this because they were talking about it. Like, they were saying, man, if we win this game, like, man, we could really actually win the rest of our games. And the coach had to do the old, hey, don't look ahead. Hey, like, don't do that.
Right.
They're super excited. They're sold out. They're on national TV. They're on ESPN right now, North Texas. Like, they're all fired up. And I bet you this game does have more ratings than the Mariners-Tigers game does.
I
bet you it does.
Yeah.
Hey, what about the Rutgers game? We got the Rutgers game coming up soon here in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You already gave Rutgers, right? So it's your pick.
Yeah, 19-5-1 is Schiano. Now, obviously not all with Rutgers, but 19-5-1, last 25 games after a bye for Schiano. Going to the West Coast helps.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when they got out there. That's
I
a
like
big
that
number
part too.
Anyway. Yeah. So
I've got my
picks.
picks.
Keep it close.
I'm on the same picks here for this game. And I wanted to add a prop. I got an extra TD prop that I'll add for everybody, but I'm with you. Give me RU. Give me the Rutgers Scarlet Knights plus the points. Normally, I'm not a fan of the travel, the East Coast, West Coast stuff, but as Scott alluded to, Rutgers are coming off a bye week, right? So it's, it's a lot trickier to practice, go to class if they actually do, go to class and then travel after, as opposed to you've had 2 weeks to prepare. They're coming off a heartbreaking loss to Minnesota where Rutgers missed the field goal.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think that Washington are good, but I don't think they're like 11 points better than other teams good yet, right? Especially this Rutgers offense that's shown that they can punch back. Listen, Rutgers have scored 28 or more in 3 of their 5 football games, and they're 5-0 to the over on the season. The bad news for them is they've given up 31 or more in 3 of their 5 football games. Like, Rutgers can't stop anybody suddenly, but they can score. I would expect there to be points. I like the over in this game, but I will take Rutgers. It's down to 9.5 now, actually. So little movement on Rutgers. And, we'll take the over in this game as well, Scott. So Rutgers plus the points and the over.
And you know what? Honestly, if there are 100 players on Washington, when you count all the red shirt kids and everything else, I bet half of them don't even know where the hell Rutgers is, right? They're used to playing in the Pac-12. Now they got the Big Ten. It's Rutgers.
I bet you, Scott.
What is a Rutgers?
No, not half.
Where is that?
Not half of them. If you asked 100 players on Rutgers, 100 players on the Washington Huskies, where is Rutgers? Where are they from? What city or where are they from? Who are they? I would say, I don't know, maybe they have a couple of kids from the East Coast on the team. I'm that's serious. I would think that, 98 out of 100 would not know.
Oh, I thought you were going to go lower than my 50%. So
no, I was going to say that nobody would know.
Like nobody. I mean, Rutgers. Where's the Rutgers? Is that Oregon State? Is that Is that the
Do you really think that any kid on the Washington Huskies has ever heard of Piscataway or New Brunswick, New Jersey? No.
Yeah, no. Nothing. So
or care.
And by the way,
care.
Right? Or care. Yeah. Or one.
Sorry, Scott, can you imagine too? And we got our boy videos. Can you imagine how many times some of these teams, the first time they roll into Rutgers, going, "What the F? Where the hell are we?" They're pulling up this mountain. They're in a bus and stuff. They're like, "I thought we were going to New York, man." It's like, no. The only time you see New York is when we pull into the airport in New Jersey. All right, you can see the skyline.
Washington plays Michigan, and Washington plays Michigan next week. Look ahead, Spot.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circa Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
Are we going to sit here today and acknowledge that the Indianapolis Colts right now are the best team in the AFC?
They are right now.
They can run the football with Taylor. They got a competent quarterback the way he's playing right now in Daniel Jones. They are well coached.
They never punt.
They never punt.
They never punt.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
I told you Vladimir Guerrero would hit a home run. He hits a home run on his first pitch. 2-run shot, 2-0 Jays. And I gave you Suarez earlier. I'm telling you, Scott. Contreras last night, Story the other night. Bro, every night I've been hitting these home run props. And not the easy Ohtani ones at old plus 190.
Right.
These are plus 450s, baby.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Florida State put up 498 rushing yards on this defense, 8 rushing touchdowns, and they almost averaged 10 yards per carry.
Tough scene.
I mean, you got to be kidding me. It should be 60 to 7.
Yeah. Give me the 7.
I just gave you the 7.
Exactly. And
are you
the
on this?
Point. I'm thinking field goal and maybe a
but
safety.
But are you on
go.
this? This is
Over
your best
3.5.
Okay.
Didn't you read the screen? What are you not paying attention to the show?
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe closing out hour number 1, action-packed hour number 2, including opposite picks coming up at 9:30 Eastern time. So baseball, Seattle has gotten on the board against Tariq Schoolboy. I tell you, this will be a quirky thing if this just, if Seattle wins this baseball game. Schoolboy can't win the postseason. It's just, it's the goofiest thing. He's pitched well.
But it's not his fault. It's not like he's a postseason bust. He's pitching his ass off. They just don't score.
That's what I mean. It's a goofy thing. He's got 5 strikeouts too, which I'm not happy about in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
I didn't bet against this guy. Yeah, he's gone over. This guy's going to finish with like 13, 14. It's going to be one of those. I looked at World Series ticket prices because I'm considering going. Right, I'm looking. All right, I got to figure out. I live very close to Seattle. So, all right, Dodgers, Mariners, pretty cool. And I lived in Toronto for 15 years. So I know Toronto, whatever. So either way, it's sort of pretty cool. Or LA, which I know like the back of my head. So I looked at the ticket prices for all 4 cities, Scott. What do you think in order the most expensive, least expensive are for the World Series?
I would say Toronto is the most expensive because it's been forever and it's an entire country. I would say Dodgers would be second, even though they've been there, done that before. Cubbies, the Cubbies might be 2 or 3. I'll say 3. Toronto, Dodgers, Cubs, Tigers, Seattle, Milwaukee.
Now, you know what? I should note, I looked at the American League of the Dodgers. So I didn't. Okay. So I was assuming if the Dodgers. So we'll get you the Chicago price.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. Right.
Yeah. So you know what, though? Seattle, the most expensive.
Yeah.
And you know how much it costs? The cheapest get-in for Game 1 if the Mariners are in the World Series, $1,900.
Wow.
That's a lot of money for a baseball game.
Yeah.
Like baseball, that's a lot of money.
Baseball.
They've never made the World Series.
Yeah.
Never made the World Series before. And Seattle's one of these towns where, they got street crime and there's a lot of junkies on the street, but it's also a pretty rich city as well. Right? Like, so it's like the balance. Vancouver's like that here. San Francisco. San Francisco's a hellhole. It's also like the richest neighborhood in like North America and the world, right there. Little Silicon Valley, billionaire row. So they have a lot of money in Seattle. They're passionate about it. So the prices were Seattle, $1,900. Toronto, $1,700. Toronto's a super expensive city. LA, $1,200, as you stated, Scott. Been there, done that, right? Yeah. Can only milk, like, even me. I went last, like, how many times you were going to pay $2,000 to go to a baseball game, right? Yeah. It's like the Patriots used to be in the Super Bowl. Scalpers hated it, ticket brokers.
Yeah.
But Brady's in a Super Bowl for the 9th time. Like, people have already done it. Even, like, you know what I mean? Like, Tom Brady, I'm sure Tom Brady's parents didn't go to all 9 of his Super Bowls. Like, eventually they were like, we're staying home. Yeah. Same with Mahomes. Like, the prices go down. But Detroit was the cheapest one, $1,000 to get in for Detroit. But, man, they've really priced the common fan out of this, huh? Like, how the hell you can afford? Like, imagine.
Is that like decent seats or just like walk in?
No. That's like the cheapest seat in the house. That's the last row in the stadium.
Wow.
If you want to sit like behind home plate, it's about $6,000.
Wow. That's they forget about the common man. That's not happening.
Now the prices will come down. Right? Just because people are asking for it, Wetzel, doesn't mean you're going to get it. Right?
Yeah, that's true. I got a ticket broker on my podcast who does this for a living. Yeah,
so they're going to charge more in advance. You're going to charge more in advance because the people are going to buy in advance are the ones, Scott, that are gung-ho eager. I'm not missing this. I got to get a ticket now. I got to go to the World if they want to get in. And you get the cool, calm, and collected people. Yeah.
They got to play it out.
You get other people, you wait it out because you can always buy tickets in the last second, right? You sort of play the market. Yeah. I don't personally believe that there's enough people that can afford $1,900 for the cheapest ticket. But the thing is, there's not a lot of tickets on the market, Scott, because if you're a season ticket holder, you get a ticket, you imagine you're Seattle, you want to go. You've never been to a World Series game. You don't want to sell the ticket. Like, you better get offered a lot of money to get, like, bought out of your dream to see a World Series game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Guys they have to make the decision, Gabe. Do I sell the postseason World Series, and that'll probably pay for my entire year next year? Or
that's what Bills fans used to do with Tom Brady. Yeah. My buddy did that. Yeah. He bought Buffalo Bills season tickets. He would sell the Tom Brady Patriots game, and it would literally pay for the entire season of 2 tickets for him.
Yeah. $1,900 just to get in the door.
Your ticket, you paid about $300 for it, so you can make about $1,700.
Yeah. Hour number 2 coming up.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
Are we going to sit here today and acknowledge that the Indianapolis Colts right now are the best team in the AFC?
They are right now.
They can run the football with Taylor. They got a competent quarterback, the way he's playing right now, in Daniel Jones. They are well coached.
They never punt.
They never punt.
They never punt.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
I told you Vladimir Guerrero would hit a home run. He hits a home run on his first pitch. 2-run shot, 2-0 Jays. And I gave you Suarez earlier. I'm telling you, Scott. Contreras last night, Story the other night. Bro, every night I've been hitting these home run props. And not the easy Ohtani ones at old plus 190. These are plus 450s, baby.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Florida State put up 498 rushing yards on this defense, 8 rushing touchdowns, and they almost averaged 10 yards per carry.
Tough scene.
I mean, you got to be kidding me. It should be 60 to 7.
Yeah. Give me the 7.
I just gave you the 7.
Exactly. And
are you
the
on
extra
this?
point. I'm thinking field goal and maybe a
but
safety.
But are you on
Joe.
this? This is
Over
your best
3.5.
Okay.
Didn't you read the screen? What, are you not paying attention to the show?
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Hour number 2. We got Scott and Gabe until 10 p.m. Eastern time tonight. Little not World Series, but Division Series Game 5. We got Seattle leading at 1-0 as they move just to the top of the 4th inning now over Detroit. We got college football. What, another turnover? Oh, I see.
Yeah, this time North Texas. South Florida have turned the ball over 3 times in the first half already.
We did that.
This is really big for the total, actually, guys, because things were going to slow down. It was 21-14. South Florida actually punted again. So South Florida got stopped, punts again. There's only less than a minute left. North Texas fumbles the ball on like their own 20-yard line. So North Texas probably would, we probably wouldn't have got points. Now maybe we can get another quick 7 here from South Florida, and their quarterback just picked up 10 yards, 9 yards on first down. So I think we can get another 7 here, Scott, and get to 41 here, 42, 21-21 at least at the half.
Yeah, take that. This is a great system game. It doesn't get talked about too much, but it was in play tonight, WNBA. When teams are down 3-0, and they play Game 5, which is usually the case, but sometimes not. When they have to play Game 5 on the road, they don't win. They just don't. Las Vegas leading at 3-0. They're blowing out Phoenix 54-38. It's been a close series, but what happens is there's so much emphasis. No one comes back from 3-0 down, whether it's, basketball, hockey, football, baseball, whatever. So they put all their emphasis in winning Game 3, and they lose Game 3, and there's just nothing there for Game 4. And that's the reason.
And they lost their spark plug. They lost their spark plug.
One of their best players.
Sabally being out. She's like, Alyssa Thomas is really good, but Sabali's the one that talks smack to the other team. Sabali's like, the straw that stirs the drink on that team, so to speak. Big rebounder. She does it all. Their spirits are crushed, Scott. And
well,
plus,
I was
like,
say,
you've got girls on that team that have lost in the finals before as well, too, right? This is like Alyssa's third time or something, and she's losing. Like, you can tell, like, late in the last game, Scott, their soul was broken. Like, they're broken.
They lost a big lead last game. And then, Wilson hits a shot with less than a second left. I mean, they've taken so many punches.
That was Jordan-esque, though, her in the air and stuff. Like, she's got to get that going, man. Like, she's up in the air. She hits the shot. Like,
yeah. So I know it's a WNBA, but that was a solid play. These teams just don't. Hockey a little different because the hockey player never quits. But baseball and basketball, it's really one of the better systems. When a team is up 3-0, they close it out.
Baseball, normally the team won't get swept. They'll always find sort of a way, and then they'll lose the next one. That's the way I always sort of look at it, right? But basketball, basketball. You know what? One thing with hockey, though, hockey players get a little bit too much credit, Scott. And I know this being in the hockey world. You often hear, the NBA always gets bashed compared to the NHL, right? Oh, no load management in this, no load in that. Like, it's like, yeah, okay, hockey's really tough, but we should know the players are only playing like 13 minutes, 18 minutes a night and stuff like that. So there's a lot of little intricacies, but when people say like, oh, hockey players in series, there's sweeps in the NHL all the time, Scott. Teams quit all the time in the series. Like, they realize they're not going to win. Like, teams, like, they don't really quit in games, but they don't give the great effort. Like the Detroit Red Wings last night, actually. That's, and your Dolphins. You know, it's funny, Scott. I don't know if you saw the video today. Even I commented on it with Tua. Tua did the old, dude, you wouldn't be able to tell if they were 1-4 or 4-1. Like if you had the sound down. So he's smiling and he's yucking it up. And they asked him, what do you think about all the criticism and, players, Cam Newton, fans? And he said, I tune all that stuff out. It doesn't bother me. I live in a beautiful house with a beautiful family and my kids love me. And he basically was chucking it up. Like he just doesn't care, right? And
I saw that.
And to me, that's the biggest loser talk ever, Scott. Like that's the sign of a loser. I remember Jason Tatum said that a couple of years ago in a playoff series when he was struggling. And he was getting booed. He goes, well, you know what? I go home and my kids love me. It's like, of course your kids love you. It's like, my cat loves me too. Like, so your kids love you. Has nothing to do with the football record that we have here, right? Yeah. It's just sort of that crutch thing that this isn't the most important thing in my life. That's what he's basically telling you when he says this. And I get it. Yep. I'm not saying that he should go out and like kill himself because of this, but it's called faking it, right, Scott? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like the modern athlete doesn't understand this. Go out there and lie. Seriously. If you're laughing it up backstage, when you get on the podium, put on an angry face and go, you know what, I'm sickened by our record. I can barely eat and sleep. Can barely eat this week. I apologize to our fans. We need to do better. That's all you need to say, Scott, right? But Tua goes out there, my kids love me. I'm rich. I don't care. You got your dumbass coach coming out here. We play to win. You got to win the game, and you got to win. And, like, dude, like the Dolphins press conferences make it way worse. Like, if I was a Dolphin fan, I just want to punch these guys in the face.
I'm telling you, I try and listen to
and I don't even like McDermott. I get mad at McDermott, so imagine how I'd feel about this clown in Miami, Scott.
Yeah. You can't watch a McDaniel press conference without just wanting to just blow your head off. I mean, it's just he can't put, like, I guess we joke about this. We used to joke about this about someone over at the three-letter network, Sirius XM. If this guy talks funny, talks to his wife that way, right? So, but that said, same thing with McDaniel. Do you talk to your wife like, "Hi, honey, how are you doing?" I mean, it's like you want to slap him in the back. Just speak. And that's also a sign of a guy who's not sure about what he's going to say. So he's got to really think about, just talk. It's the craziest thing. And you're right. That's the indirect message Tua is giving you. You would think that would be a good thing. Okay, he's got life in its perspective. But no, the fan doesn't want to hear that. The fan wants to hear you said it. And this stinks. It's awful. I can't sleep. I'm going to spend an extra 3 hours looking at game films. Yeah. You're not going to bring up your family and you don't care. It's almost like a challenge. Like, you're not going to get me. You know what? And the next thing I'm going to hear out of Tua is I'm making $50 million a year. I don't care, win or lose. Like, you're
allowed to lie at these things. Just lie, right? Like, don't say I don't care and my kids love me and I have a beautiful wife and stuff. Like, then you're just angering the fan base more because they don't. Yeah. They don't live in a beautiful house. They don't have beautiful wives. They don't have $200 million. Right? They're not playing golf with Trump's granddaughter and stuff at the private golf club. Right? This is the problem, though, Scott. This is the problem, though. with all these teams, the Miami Heat, the same thing. I know the Heat have had success a couple of times over the years, but for the most part, they're just kind of soft. If you're playing, think about it, Scott. If you're playing on the Miami Dolphins, and then you're playing on the Buffalo Bills or the Green Bay Packers, what are you going to be more focused on football? What are you going to do in Green Bay? Right? Like Serge Ibaka said. Like Serge, when he played on the Oklahoma City Thunder. He goes, I'm not saying this is a criticism, Oklahoma City. I love it there. They're nice people. But he goes, it made me a better basketball player there because he goes, I built a court in my own house. And he goes, there's nothing to do there. He goes, there's one nightclub and everyone knows who you are. He goes, I can't even go to a movie because I'm 6. He goes, I'm a 6'10" black guy in Oklahoma City. People know who I am. He goes, there's nothing to do and you don't go out. He goes, that's why the Thunder are good. He goes, nobody goes out on that team and they don't party. And he goes, they just play basketball all the time. And he admitted, he goes, Toronto, I'm very distracted. And he started laughing. He goes, a lot of beautiful women here. He started like, Toronto is a little different. It's true, right? So if you're on the Miami Dolphins, Scott, what do you care? You lose, you're going to the club after, you're going to the beach, you're living on a beachfront property. You just don't care.
Yeah.
You don't care. I don't even have fans to rip you, really. Like, no one even cares there.
If you win, great. If you don't, no big deal.
It's like, it's like we don't even sell it anyways. What do I care about these people? They don't even like us.
Speaking of South Florida scores just for the half, 21-all.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
At this event, people from Amazon and Alexa made it very clear that in addition to Sports Highlight coming up, you will be able to perhaps buy sports tickets to events, buy movie tickets, arrange fantasy football teams, and I think somewhere down the road, maybe not too far down the road, given the NBA on Prime deal, they will allow sports betting on the television set through Alexa Plus.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
What worries me, for the future, for the rest of this season for the 49ers is Christian McCaffrey, because all these other guys are out. This guy is getting more workload than anybody else in the NFL. The catches, the carries, the blocking, the chip blocks, the protection. He is just being worked over, and I don't think that is, real good for the 49ers.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Basically a year's worth of starts at this point, because remember, Drake May was not the starter out of the gate during his rookie year last year. That was Jacoby Brissett. There have been some, encouraging performances and, I think some flashes of what could be upper echelon talent within the scope of the league. But going into this year, it was, we're going to find out.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Yanks ain't looking good. My Phillies aren't looking good. Can we have a pity party this morning? I mean, what gives?
Listen, you want to talk about cities that aren't doing too well here. You mentioned the Yankees on the brink here. Jets, forget about it. 0-5. Giants, you lose to a winless New Orleans team. Things ain't any better here in the Big Apple. I think sports fans are maybe praying for the New York Rangers, who are certainly better than the New York Islanders.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
welcome back. It is In-Game Live Game Day here on the Grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 2. So we got baseball, we got a little college football, a little WNBA. Let me just really quickly update the baseball. 1-0 still, bottom of the 4th inning. Seattle over the Tigers. Minus 230.
Rodriguez.
Are the Mariners. Wow.
J-Rod just missed a home run. He smoked it, but it just missed the foul pole. And I'm curious to see if the coach has a favorite baseball team. You know, we think of the Bowdens as a football family, but it doesn't mean he doesn't have a favorite baseball team. Hey, Coach Bowden, you got a favorite baseball team?
You know, I grew up Atlanta Braves fan because I was in Alabama, and that's the one game I could go watch. I had time to go watch. And but as a kid, I was from Alabama. I didn't live there, and Hank Aaron was my guy. And I just loved Hank Aaron during my young days. But I've gotten once you start coaching, buddy, if you love two sports, you're in trouble. Your marriage is gonna be in trouble. If you love more than one sport, you're in trouble.
Yeah, look at Hugh Freeze. He's in trouble for playing too much golf. You can't even play golf, Coach.
Hey, my wife said, Terry, sometimes I think you love football more than you love me. I said, yeah, but I love you more than I love basketball. Isn't that okay?
There you go.
Don't do that. Don't ever say that.
Hey, you say I was married to football before I met you. Hey, I don't want to get you in trouble, right?
I always wonder, recently we had a Yankee who grew up a Red Sox fan face the Red Sox and vice versa. Like, for you growing up as a kid, you must have loved college football, right? I'm not sure what your favorite college football team. I'm guessing Alabama, somebody in Alabama anyway. So when you became a coach, when did it kind of flip for you, just forgetting about what you cared about as a kid?
What, but just football-wise, which teams I cared about? I'm sorry. I didn't. Football wise, I mean, once because my dad was a coach, everywhere he changed jobs, I was for that team. I was passionate. In my family, we're passionate about the teams that we coach, and so I learned quickly to move forward and have a strong. Except I graduated from West Virginia and played there, so that my heart's always there.
Right. So that must be kind of weird, just facing some of those teams and as you were coaching along. All right, before we get to some of the games, I know you're at Auburn, so you're there for the big game tomorrow, Georgia and Auburn. How about the games tonight, though? First up, any thoughts on South Florida or in the Rutgers-Washington game or Fresno State-Colorado State?
Yeah. Well, I'm loving this game. Of course, South Florida is a big game they got going on with North Texas. South Florida. I watched them beat Boise. I watched them beat Florida. I did not respect the running game, I think, enough of North Texas because it is for real. But both teams have been sloppy. 3 turnovers, and now we've about got the game I thought we would have. I'm still going to stick with South Florida. I had them winning this game, but I'm going to tell you, North Texas, if they run the ball like they do and South Florida can't stop them, he who doesn't stop turnovers now, 3 apiece, is probably going to lose this game.
Go ahead, Gabe. You got something?
Coach, you're on the Plains.
Yeah.
What about the big game? What's the vibe? It's a big game for both coaches. There's pressure. We're at the time of the year right now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Coach, listen, you lived in a world, you went undefeated, right? So you know about it. We live in a world now, it used to be, okay, you got to go undefeated. Then maybe you can lose once. Now you can lose twice and get in the playoffs. But 3 times, you're done, and you don't want to have this many losses this early in the season. So this is a massive football game. What are you hearing, talking to the coaches and talking to the people?
Well, first of all, I haven't been to an Auburn, Georgia game since I was coaching on the Auburn sideline in 1997.
Wow.
Kirby Smart was the safety starting for the other team, so that takes you back.
Wow.
But I'm looking forward to it.
And I remember, Coach, you told me. I asked you. You told me that's the toughest place, right, between the hedges. I'm not putting words in your mouth, but I remember asking you about where's the toughest place, Coach, in the SEC to go, and you said, I think it's at Georgia, between the hedges.
Now, this one's at Auburn, and the reason Auburn, we have the exact same bush on our sideline. They call them hedges, we call them sticks. We're not hedges, but it's Auburn at night. This is the oldest Southern rivalry that we have. 1893, 93. When my first year, it was the 100th game, but it's a different atmosphere. A night game at Auburn. You give them a few points there, and but Georgia's playing better football. Auburn is really strong offensively. We call it Auburn. It figures something out. If they can just play a clean game on offense,
We're losing the coach there. We'll try and reconnect with him. Really, kind of, it's almost Gabe, a do or die situation. I would think for Hugh Freeze, right? If you don't win this, in today's landscape of college football, you generally don't get more than 3 years, right? He's got to find a way to win.
Especially with Gruden lurking, Scott. Like I want to get. Hopefully, we get the coach back. Gruden's lurking out there, and if you're Kirby Smart, you really don't lose to anybody besides Alabama, right? For the most part, but they do have that loss. A second loss would be a serious, serious problem for Georgia as well. Kirby's not going to be on the hot seat. Freeze will, but big time game. And and I think we got the coach back here. We do.
Listen to y'all talk. Freeze is on the hot seat. I mean, he has not been successful enough taking over this program. And right now, after a couple of losses and no offensive football, they're expecting a lot to happen. Kirby's only on the hot seat because of how productive, how successful he's been. He's created the monster at Georgia that he's got. They expect champions. So now, but Hugh Freeze a little different.
Damn.
I think we're losing him.
Your team lose.
I was just going to ask him about Gruden, Scott. I want to get the Gruden question in. Son of a.
I know. Yeah, we're losing him, unfortunately. I always love talking to the coach, too. Maybe we can reconnect with him. But it's an amazing game about college football. I mean, I know Gundy, the last 2 seasons have been just awful. I get that. But he's been so successful. He went to Oklahoma State. He's a home guy there. They kick him out. I mean, you don't have – you're talking about Kirby Smart. Are you under pressure? And you know how ridiculous that is?
No, but I'm not saying he's on the hot seat. But I'm saying the criticisms will begin.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
that's just the way it is. I know.
It's just nuts. I mean, you're not going to win.
Well, look, they're ready to run Dabo out of town. Dabo won 2 championships in the last 7-8 years or whatever. They're ready to fire him there. They would have said, if he retired, they'd be happy.
It's nuts. His fan bases are just crazy. It's not easy, getting
this
NFL
ain't new.
talent.
As a Michigan fan, we ran Lloyd Carr out of town because they lost App State.
Yeah, Bob Osborne, same thing with Nebraska. Amazing. I have more coming up.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
Are we going to sit here today and acknowledge that the Indianapolis Colts right now are the best team in the AFC?
They are right now.
They can run the football with Taylor. They got a competent quarterback, the way he's playing right now, in Daniel Jones. They are well coached.
They never punt.
They never punt.
They never punt.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
I told you Vladimir Guerrero would hit a home run. He hits a home run on his first pitch. 2-run shot, 2-0 Jays. And I gave you Suarez earlier. I'm telling you, Scott. Contreras last night, Story the other night. Bro, every night I've been hitting these home run props. And not the easy Ohtani ones at old plus 190.
Right.
These are plus 450s, baby.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Florida State put up 498 rushing yards on this defense, 8 rushing touchdowns, and they almost averaged 10 yards per carry.
Tough scene.
I mean, you got to be kidding me. It should be 60 to 7.
Yeah. Give me the 7.
I just gave you the 7.
Exactly. And
are you
the
on this?
Point. I'm thinking field goal and maybe a
but
safety.
But are you on
go.
this? This is
Over
your best
3.5.
Okay.
Didn't you read the screen? What, are you not paying attention to the show?
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
what that music means. Time to take out the pad and pencils, get set for the fastest and, more importantly, most profitable 5 minutes in television, Opposite Picks. What are Opposite Picks, you newbies ask? Well, we give you 7 games, 7,000 reasons why we like one team, and then we go opposite. Why? Because despite all the stats, trends, hunches, injury reports, weather reports, systems, and everything else, nobody beats the boys in Vegas. Nice little 4-3 last week. We're back on the winning side of things. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So here we go. First of our 7-pack. Got to start with Arkansas getting 13.5 at Tennessee. One of our favorite betting systems in play, the coaches fired system. That's right. Arkansas firing Sam Pittman. Enter motorcycle man Bobby Petrino. Getting 2 touchdowns is like riding a Harley with a hot secretary in the car seats. That's exactly what happened, isn't it? Arkansas also 10-2 against the spread. Their last 12 meetings against Tennessee. 4-0 against the spread as double-digit conference road dogs. Tennessee 0-5 against the spread as double-digit conference favorites. It all points to Arkansas. Give me Tennessee laying to 13.5. Pick number 2, Houston laying 14.5 against Oklahoma State. This Okie State team is bad, real bad, folks. They fired the head coach a couple of weeks ago. How did they respond? They lost the next 2 games by 18 and 28 points. Mike Gundy left the cupboard drier than a summer day in Nevada, folks. Okie State 1-13 straight up. More importantly, 2-12 against the spread its last 14 games, including 1-7 against the spread at home. Love Houston here to get a double-digit win. Give me Oklahoma State plus 14.5. Pick number 3, Washington State plus 31.5 at Ole Miss. Tell the little lady forget about making lunch today, hun. I already got a big-time sandwich game on my plate. This is it. Ole Miss beats LSU last week in its game of the year. They take on Georgia next week in its second biggest game of the season. What does that make this week? The sandwich game. They don't care about stinking Washington State. It's not even a conference game, for goodness sakes. Washington State also 7-1 against the spread as double-digit dogs. Love Washington State. Not win, but cover. Give me Ole Miss minus 31.5. Pick number 4, Iowa State laying 2.5 only against Colorado. An early Halloween treat from the boys in Vegas. Iowa State is twice the team Colorado is. Plus, Dion is worried about his blood clots. Hopefully he does well with those things. He's not worried about Iowa State. He's worried about living, for goodness sakes. Buffalo's 2 wins this year against Delaware. Who cares? And Wyoming. Who cares as well? Iowa State 5-2 against the spread in the last 7 games against Colorado. They destroy Colorado. Give me Colorado. Plus the 2.5. Pick number 5, Wake Forest laying 2.5 against Oregon State. Same thing here. This is the time of the year where we start just betting on betting against bad teams, no matter where the games are. Wake Forest got to travel across the country. I get that, but Oregon State, folks, 0-6. Their average margin of defeat is over 2 touchdowns a game. In fact, they're 1-12 straight up going back to last season. Their last 13 games, back-to-back road games, not easy for Wake, but Oregon State blows. Love Wake Forest here. Give me Oregon State plus the 2.5. Pick number 6, UNLV laying 6.5 against Air Force. Bad combo for the Fly Boys. They've given up 30 points a game in all 4 of their FBS games. Rebels have scored 30 points in all 5 of their FBS games. Love UNLV here to win at home. Give me Air Force plus the 6.5. Final pick, Kent State, yes, laying 1.5 against UMass. If they play it, we will bet it. That's the obvious thing. Send your local Louis to lip scrambling when you ask for this game. Kent State beat Merrimack, and UMass lost to Bryant. Bryant, for goodness sakes. They've lost 17 of their last 19 games, and they got 2 road wins, folks. 2 in their last 6 years combined. So as bad as it sounds, you got to be the biggest dumbass, doofus, dingling, dork, dunce, thicko, wacko, nutcase, harebrained, bird-brained, butthead, meathead, nincompoop, jackass in the world to put American money on UMass on the road. Give me UMass plus the 1.5. Opposite picks, week number 7 of college football season. Good luck, folks.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
Are we going to sit here today and acknowledge that the Indianapolis Colts right now are the best team in the AFC?
They are right now.
They can run the football with Taylor. They got a competent quarterback, the way he's playing right now, in Daniel Jones. They are well coached.
They never punt.
They never punt.
They never punt.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
I told you Vladimir Guerrero would hit a home run. He hits a home run on his first pitch. 2-run shot, 2-0 Jays. And I gave you Suarez earlier. I'm telling you, Scott. Contreras last night, Story the other night. Bro, every night I've been hitting these home run props. And not the easy Ohtani ones at old plus 190.
Right.
These are plus 450s, baby.
In-game live. Only on SportsGrid.
Florida State put up 498 rushing yards on this defense, 8 rushing touchdowns, and they almost averaged 10 yards per carry.
Tough scene.
I mean, you got to be kidding me. It should be 60 to 7.
Yeah. Give me the 7.
I just gave you the 7.
Exactly. And
Are
miss
you
the
on
extra
this?
point. I'm thinking field goal and maybe a
But
safety.
are you on
Joe.
this? This is
Over
your best
3.5.
Okay.
Didn't you read the screen? What are you
I
not
could
paying
barely
attention
read
to the
it.
show?
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
All right, welcome back. In-game live, game day here on the grid. So college football opposite picks in the bag. Still 1-0 Seattle. And we got a couple of games here going on before we get the games picks. South Florida, North Texas just kicking off to start the second half, tied at 21. And how about Rutgers? RU with a 10-0 lead at Washington. How about that as a double-digit dog to start the game? Still getting 3.5, but not bad there. And Colorado State 14-0 game over Fresno State as a 6.5-point dog. So they're at home.
Fresno
Favorite.
I don't like jumping in on games I'm not watching. And I'm not watching the Fresno-Colorado State game. So I was going to say Fresno plus 7.5 kind of seems like, all right. But is this one of these nights? I don't know. Is someone hurt? I haven't seen it. Like, are they getting blown out? I'll check our chat if anybody's got an eye on that game. I do have my eye on, on the baseball, the South Florida game. Right now, I got the WNBA game on. Phoenix are making a little run, actually. They're down by 12 right now, 66-54, 3 minutes left. Rutgers had the ball, Scott, inside the 10-yard line, up 7 already. Then they went backwards, but at least they hit the field goal, right? And the kicker that missed the field goal to win, so at least they get back on track. Kid makes the kick here, get some confidence back. Looking good for our point spread, at least, right? We're getting 10.5.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, sorry, 10, excuse me. Yeah, so we're getting 10 points in this football game, 10-0 right now. I got Rutgers over 5.5 wins, too. They're 3-2 on the season. Their schedule's not easy, moving forward. Like, losing the Minnesota game hurt. The Iowa, I needed to win one of the Iowa or Minnesota games. And remember, Scott, they look good against Iowa for like 50 minutes. Remember, it was like, it looks like they're there. And then they just sort of turn over here. And they just sort of fell apart in the last couple of minutes. But Rutgers have done this over the last couple of years where they'll lose a game where you think they can win, and then they'll kind of steal one along the way somewhere. So we'll see if they can steal this one tonight. Washington are still 3.5-point favorites, but I'll be on at noon tomorrow with Cam. So to get a head start on the early morning games, I've got Missouri over 6.5 wins on the season. They still haven't left the state of Missouri, Scott. Next week's their first road game at Auburn. So if they win this one, they're already up to 6-0. And I got them to make the playoffs as well. Tough spot for Alabama. Alabama coming off the Georgia game and then the revenge spot against Vanderbilt. Now this is a sneaky game for them, going on the road, early morning start here, first game of the day, against a Missouri team that are good. Hardy leads the SEC in rushing. Bo Prabula leads the SEC in passing percent, 20 to 72% completion rate. He's looked really good with his legs. Bo Prabula, dual threat quarterback, the transfer from Penn State. I think he's better than Drew Aller is. So, Missouri and Alabama can't tackle. Let's not get lost. Yeah, their offense is looking good. So, I like Missouri plus the 3.5 in this game, but I think it's going to be a track meet. Missouri's defense isn't great, and Alabama are going to be able to score. But Alabama were giving up like 7.1 yards a carry to Vanderbilt last week, and Vanderbilt fumbled twice in the red zone last week. That game, could have been a lot closer than the final score looked. I think Alabama are better now, guys, but I'm not sure Alabama are all the way fully back here, and I think Missouri are that damn good. So give me Missouri plus 3.5. Let's go over the number. 51.5 is too light. Here's a sneaky underdog here in the Pittsburgh Panthers against Florida State. Pittsburgh got the number one rush defense in the ACC. They only get up 66 yards a game on the ground. Florida State like to run the ball a lot, and I think people got a little carried away with Florida State's win against Alabama. Florida State are good, but they're not 10 points better than Pittsburgh good. This should be a slugfest, 27-24 type of game. Pittsburgh, if you've noticed, guys, too, over the years, have a tendency of playing up or down to the level of competition. Remember Pittsburgh? Hell, Nate Peterman beat Deshaun Watson years ago. Pittsburgh went in and beat Clemson. Pittsburgh usually have one sort of road upset a year in them. I'm not saying they're going to win this game outright, but I say that it comes down to the wire, and we have a really competitive, fun early game tomorrow. Speaking of fun games, don't look now, but Stanford don't suck as much as people said they were going to suck, right? And Stanford's offense is scoring. They're getting lit up defensively, but they can put points up on the board. They're not going to be able to stop SMU. SMU are going to put up 40, 45 in this game. Stanford should get into the 20s. So let's, I think it's going to sail over 55. We like the over 55 in Stanford and SMU. Ohio State and Illinois. This is kind of almost like Scott's opposite picks in a way, in which it sounds crazy to take an over in an Ohio State game right now when Ohio State haven't given up more than double digits in one single football game this year. The most points they've given up is 10, all right, in a football game. And they played real teams. They played Washington. They played Texas. They played the Minnesota Golden Gophers. I don't know, short of playing the Oregon Ducks, who do you want them to play, really, and not say, all right, their defense is pretty good. They're only giving up 6.3 points a game. But, with that being stated, Illinois' defense is terrible. Illinois are like Rutgers now. It's like Bizarro World. Illinois can't stop anybody, but they can score quickly. So, I think Ohio State are going to drop 35-40 on them. And I think that, this is going to be a blowout. I think Ohio State are going to light them up, and it's probably like 42-14 or something like that. But I think it gets into the 50s because of the fact that Ohio State will be able to score whatever they want to score. And look, last week they hung 42 on Minnesota, right? Ryan Day's an egomaniac. He doesn't he's going to he likes style points. They're going to get into the mid-30s, into the 40s, and Illinois should be able to give us a couple of touchdowns in this game, or at least can they crack the 10-point barrier? I say they will. Let's go over the 50.5. And finally, in closing, call me crazy. I've been called worse, but we've been betting on them every week, so why are we going to stop now? We took them against Northwestern plus the points, and they traveled well. They only lost by 3. Everybody thinks that they're going to get, the whole big letdown spot after beating Penn State. I'm not so sure. I thought UCLA were a good team coming into the year. Their coach, whatever, the wheels sort of fell off, but they are a good team. They've got good players on the team. It's just sort of been a circus there. I don't think Michigan State are worthy of being 7.5-point favorites in this game. I think it's another one that comes down to the wire. And also, like I said, UCLA have actually traveled well and hung around in these games in the Midwest. So give me the UCLA Bruins plus 7.5. Those are the early 12 o'clock picks for me.
South Florida, by the way, scored again. They did not lead for the first time tonight, 28-21. So Good weekend, right, in college football. There's so many good games. You get the coaches fired system. You mentioned Oregon, Indiana, right? Let's see, can Indiana step up and really beat one of the big boys for the first time? They don't. I don't think they do. Laying only 7.5. So I agree with you.
That total is too light. That total's too light in
53.5.
Oregon,
Yeah.
Oregon and Indiana. It's just there's no way that game's staying under the number.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be a track meet. There's going to be points put up on the board.
I like the Pittsburgh play. I think they do win. I told you last week. Now, the score wasn't indicative of how one-sided it was, but I thought Miami was going to crush Florida State, and really, for all intents and purposes, they did. I know it finished up 28-22, but, Florida State scored a couple of garbage time touchdowns late in the game, but they got manhandled. I don't think they beat Pittsburgh. I think they lose outright. I'm not a big fan of the whole program down there. They're laying 10.5, so I think Pittsburgh can win, or at least keep it close anyway.
They're going to have a handful to win a game. You got to think, Scott, like the physical toll, right? They played on the Friday night game against Virginia. They gave up 46 points. It was a track meet. They ran up and down the field all night. Then a really emotional game on primetime college game day there. Miami Hurricanes, they lose. Now they got to get up for the Pittsburgh Panthers. That's going to be tough, right? Like, I'm not saying they're not going to be ready to play the game, but just emotionally, physically, after the last couple of weeks, they're going to be in a fight just to win the game, Scott, I think. Like, I don't think they can name – it's not like, we could name our number in this game. No, it's going to be a battle to win the game. Well, they got to avoid a 3-game losing streak in this game.
Yeah. I mean, you think about college football, Gabe. Number 1 ranked team, Texas, unranked. Number 2 ranked team, Clemson, unranked. And then the number 4 ranked team that was thrown in there, unranked. You got Notre Dame with a couple losses. You got maybe Georgia at this weekend with a couple of losses. I mean, college football this year is just crazy. Oh.
Michigan USC is a big one tomorrow night, too.
That'll be a lot of fun. Cam Stewart coming up next here on the Grid.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
Are we going to sit here today and acknowledge that the Indianapolis Colts right now are the best team in the AFC?
They are right now.
They can run the football with Taylor. They got a competent quarterback, the way he's playing right now, in Daniel Jones. They are well coached.
They never punt.
They never punt.
They never punt.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
I told you Vladimir Guerrero would hit a home run. He hits a home run on his first pitch. 2-run shot, 2-0 Jays. And I gave you Suarez earlier. I'm telling you, Scott, Contreras last night, Story the other night, bro, every night I've been hitting these home run props. And not the easy Ohtani ones at old plus 190. Right. These are plus 450s, baby.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Florida State put up 498 rushing yards on this defense, 8 rushing touchdowns, and they almost averaged 10 yards per carry.
Tough scene.
I mean, you got to be kidding me. It should be 60 to 7.
Yeah. Give me the 7.
I just gave you the 7.
Exactly. And
are you
the
on this?
Point. I'm thinking field goal and maybe a
but
safety.
But are you on
Joe.
this? This is your
Over
best
3.5.
Okay.
Didn't you read the screen? What are you not paying attention to the show?
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the Grid. While we were away, Curry Carpenter 2-run homer for Detroit. after they take
I told you, Wetzel.
Kirby out of the game.
Tigers keep doing this.
It's amazing.
I'd like to see, Scott, I'd like to see a compilation here of the how many innings have they led in this series. And like, let's say they win this series, like I think it'll like less than 5 innings they've had to lead.
Yeah, not many. Not
Like
many.
you know what I mean? Like they've been trailing all night, so we're into the 6th now, whatever. But give them credit. I mean, they're just sort of scrapping and whatever, fighting away. But if I'm the Blue Jays, and you never want to call teams out, but I guarantee you the Toronto Blue Jays are enjoying this right now. If you're the Blue Jays, you don't want to have to deal with Seattle's rotation. You don't want to have to fly 3,000 miles back and forth all the time. Right, Detroit is right beside Toronto. Your fan base will like take over the stadium and stuff. And they can. How many times can they pitch Scooble? Yeah, Scooble's going to be gassed after this.
Yeah,
they start Sunday too, right? They're starting Sunday.
Yeah,
so
Saturday.
Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah,
Sunday. Yeah, so they got 2 days.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically so Scooble wouldn't be able to go until like game 3 of that series.
Yeah,
or
so maybe
4.
it didn't mean
3
no
or 4.
7.
Like.
Yeah, so you're gonna get maybe twice if there's a 7-game series. Maybe if it's short.
3 and 7 type of deal. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's bring in a good buddy, Cam Stewart, to the program. What's going on, Cam? Seattle or Detroit? And you know, one thing we didn't bring up: they take out Kirby. The guy's pitching great baseball, Cam. Maybe he's throwing shutout baseball. All right, he gives up a leadoff double. Who cares? 66 pitches.
You guys are right.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. And this is the same reliever that got smoked last time the game was tied when Seattle could have taken care of the business and win the game. So 2 big home runs he's given up in that spot. Kirby was fine. Leadoff double, no panic. But this is new baseball, right? You take out the guy who's pitching his ass off. But anyway, I don't know, Scott, Gabe, Blue Jays, I worry about the Tigers. I worry about the Mariners. Let's just say I worry. You know what I mean? So I'm just happy that the Jays are in the championship series. But I would say this, the Mariners with their home run power scares me a little bit more. And the Tigers, guys, the Blue Jays have beaten Scooble this year too. They played actually pretty good against them when they had that series against the Tigers. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Other than Scooble, you're not really afraid of that rotation, guys.
All right, what do you got? College football tonight? Anything?
College football tonight. Actually, I'm on. Rutgers, but Washington Live is going to be the play for me, -2.5. I think they can come back and win this game. Gabe and I talked about this game. We thought it may be too many points with Rutgers, but I think Washington can come back and win this football game right now. It's at a reasonable number. Colorado State, that game, I think over. We can look over. I don't think Fresno's going to be shut out in that spot. I think they're going to have more points in that game. So we have a live total of 55.5. And right now, Colorado State's marching again. So 55.5. They could be up 21-0. As for South Florida and North Texas, I'm on the wrong side here, guys. I have North Texas in this game. It's starting to get away from them. Good start early. They're just exchanging points. 89.5, the live total. I don't know what to do.
South Florida scored again.
They scored again? Wow.
Yeah, 35-21.
Got to give the Bulls a lot of credit just for their whole season, too. Like North Texas punched them early. South Florida comes back. Big wins this year. Boise State, Florida. Good for the South Florida Bulls. You know, this is a seeded team right now, taking care of business. I was looking at North Texas plus 8.5, but I think I'm going to pass on that one, guys.
I don't want to speak too early, right? I mean, we haven't won to bet yet, but in hindsight, this was a South Florida spot. Like, just the North Texas hasn't been in a situation like this. We talked about it earlier. South Florida guys went into Gainesville, Florida, and beat the Florida Gators, who just beat the Texas Longhorns. Like, Florida is one of the toughest stadiums in the country to play in, the Swamp. They went in there and beat them, coming off a win against Boise State, right? Like, North Texas is cute and stuff. All right, it's a nice story, but, you know, I don't want to be a jerk and stuff, but the varsity quarterback story only goes so far, Scott. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Nestamaker, there's levels to this here. There's Brian Brown and there's you, okay? And, like, there's a difference. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So, and if they were able to survive the first half with all those turnovers as they did, and they went into the locker room,
exactly.
All right, and the coach said, all right, we turned the ball over 5,000 times and we're still tied. So, you know, the emotion, everything else kind of stops in halftime.
Their speed is too much.
Start, but,
and you know what it is, too? They're playing on AstroTurf here. It's like an old school fast track. So it's like when South Florida, like, run, you see it. It's like they're shot out of a cannon, these kids. Like, And they're bigger than North Texas. To me, that was the problem. Like North Texas, yeah, they spread it out and they throw the ball and stuff, but they're undersized. You're not going to match up against a team like South Florida like this in the trenches.
Yeah. South Florida gets kids that can't maybe get into the other schools in Florida, but that doesn't mean they're not good. Whereas North Texas is getting, like they're like the 7th on the list, behind Texas and Texas A&M and Texas Tech and SMU and the Texas San Antonio. They're last on the rung. So how about tomorrow, Cam? Who are some of your college football plays tomorrow?
Well, I was listening to you guys before I came on the air, and we agree on Pitt. 3's a crowd. I think the Pitt Panthers are a very dangerous team, and they beat Boston College by 47. It could have been 100. Like, you know what I mean? They actually took it easy on these guys. I know it's BC, but this Pitt team is very, very good defensively. So I don't think it's going to be easy for Castellanos to run against this Pitt defense. So I think Pitt can hang in this game. I think 10.5 points is way too many points in the early game. Over in the Alabama-Missouri game, Gabe and I talked about this on the podcast too. Missouri, they're back averaging 7.1 yards per carry. He's been fantastic. No game under 100 yards this year. So that's what you have to do. You have to bang against Alabama, run to set up the pass. Should be points in that game, guys.
Mm-hmm. I really like Iowa State, fellas. I don't see Colorado.
Like
I know they're at home and everything. It's does, a weird line. But this is 2.5 coming off.
I agree with you, Scott.
They can't lose
Colorado,
again. That matters,
they're not very good. Let's just call it out for what it is. Like, you know what I mean? They're in games, but Dion, you and I talk about it, Scott. Like, Dion doesn't know what he's doing when it comes to timeouts, and like, there's always weird stuff that happened late in the game, and he always gets defensive about it, like he knows more and why he did it. And you know what? And we talked about it earlier. Why'd they bench Caden Salter? He's not that good. We saw it at Liberty, right? There's open receivers. He doesn't see them. It's not really Dion's fault. Like, the quarterback play, like they're going to make Iowa State are way better than they are. Like, they won't make nearly as many mistakes.
Yeah. Dave, good job, man. Appreciate it. Enjoy your weekend.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
Are we going to sit here today and acknowledge that the Indianapolis Colts right now are the best team in the AFC?
They are right now.
They can run the football with Taylor. They got a competent quarterback, the way he's playing right now, in Daniel Jones. They are well coached.
They never punt.
They never punt.
They never punt.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
I told you Vladimir Guerrero would hit a home run. He hits a home run on his first pitch. 2-run shot, 2-0 Jays. And I gave you Suarez earlier. I'm telling you, Scott. Contreras last night, Story the other night. Bro, every night I've been hitting these home run props. And not the easy Ohtani ones at plus 190.
Right.
These are plus 450s, baby.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Florida State put up 498 rushing yards on this defense, 8 rushing touchdowns, and they almost averaged 10 yards per carry.
Tough scene.
I mean, you got to be kidding me. It should be 60 to 7.
Yeah. Give me the 7.
I just gave you the 7.
Exactly. And
are you
the
on
extra
this?
Point. I'm thinking field goal and maybe a
but
safety.
But are you on
Joe.
this? This
Over
is your best
3.5.
Okay.
Didn't you read the screen? What are you not paying attention to the show?
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. So a couple of quick questions. We got another touchdown for South Florida.
Yeah, let me just throw this out here quickly. We talked about the total. Guys, this thing is just freaking exploded, man, right now.
Wow.
Like, these have been quick. Like, South Florida just keeps scoring, and now there was another turnover on the play, and it was a scoop and score. Let's see. So the guy caught the ball, fumbles the ball. It's a scoop and score. There's no controversy. So, buddy on North Texas caught the ball. Wide receiver's running. He got popped, drops the ball, and dude on South Florida picked it up and ran into the end zone. Then a kid on North Texas pushed them after, shoved them. They're getting frustrated. And then South Florida got in their face after. So there's all kinds of chaos here, but it's a touchdown. There's a bunch of penalties on the kickoff after, but yeah, 42-21 right now. This game has officially gone over the number already, guys. It closed at 61.5, or at 63 right now. How about that? What's the new total?
Yeah, the dope
huge.
kid was taking his time getting into the end zone.
93.5 is the total.
Yeah, you
I got
see
a
that's not the kid on South Florida taunted the littler dude on North
taunted.
Texas. He sort of
Instead
walked
just going
backwards.
into the end zone, right? After all the stuff that happened with the Arizona Cardinal kid, you think these kids would just
tell
like,
the kids,
get into the end zone, you know? So, all right, Cam, I know, I couldn't let you go. We had to bring you back because I know you have to have a pick on, ready? Kent State -1.5 versus UMass, the dumpster diver of the weekend.
I like I bet UMass. I was at one dumpster game. I was going to take Charlotte +18 against Army. I'm like, that's too many points. And this team,
Army's not bad. Kent State and UMass.
Hey, look, watching South Florida play, you think Charlotte scored points against these guys. So you know what I mean? I just think that's way too many points for that dumpster game. But let's go to the NFL, guys. And I can't wait for this week. It's going to be a lot of fun. And one of my favorite picks, I don't think they make my favorite team one of the favorite picks, but I love the Seattle Seahawks this week, guys. Gabe and I talk about this stuff all the time. Seattle now an East Coast team. Don't care about the early start time. Jacksonville coming off that win against Kansas City. People remember what they saw last. I think the Seahawks are in a good spot to win this game. The LA Chargers, problems on the offensive line, but I don't think Miami will get pressure on them. It's time for Herbert and his team to step up. Vidal, both running backs too. Hampton's out, so I think they're just going to smash it with their running back by committee and beat down the Miami Dolphins. The Raiders. What's going on here? It's all AFC West teams from my childhood, I'm betting. That's kind of different. Vegas Raiders to absolutely annihilate Tennessee. Tennessee with that lucky win against Arizona. I know it's the Raiders, guys, but I think they can get it done. So I'm on the Raiders in that game. And I like the Kansas City Chiefs to beat the Detroit Lions in that spot after that heartbreaking loss to the Jags. Moneyline parlay for everybody out there, +108. Broncos to beat Jets, Rams to win, and Colts all over the Arizona Cardinals, +108. Gabe, good news for you on the Lynx. Siwoo Kim is now in second place. They're playing in Japan. He's in second behind Max Gracerman, and my guy Alex Noren's in third. We have a dog race right now. You could take these guys end-of-round leader in golf. Right now, Siwoo Kim, +480. Xander Schauffele tied for second with Noren, both over 5-1. So if Gracerman chokes, you got good numbers with these guys who are world-class players, fellas.
Siwoo Kim was my dart toss pick for the Bay Current golf tournament, Scott.
Yeah. Nice.
So he's in the mix.
Nice. Yeah,
he's
bullseye. He's right there.
He's in the mix. But Scott,
what is that?
So you're on Kent State, right? So remember their total was 1.5. They're still at 1 right now. They got that one win. Who they beat? Merrimack? It was Merrimack. Yeah, so their one win was against Merrimack. They're still at 1. You gotta. This is it, right, Scott? This is it. This is the UMass game. So you think they get it done, right? This is the one.
We're down. We're going UMass. We're going Kent State for the season win total. UMass has 2 road wins in 6
They played
years.
Oklahoma last week, though, too, right? So they got physically beat up.
44
Yeah, 44
You know what they did? They benched the starting quarterback. No, they benched the starting quarterback. They didn't play him because they didn't want to get him hurt because they did that.
That was actually a smart move.
Ago. And they lost like 2 starting quarterbacks 2 years ago. So the head coach
That's an excellent point, though,
You know what,
like,
with Kent State?
When you play Oklahoma, you're going to get beat down. Like, that's the thing. These guys are going to be wounded heading into this game. It's a train wreck, though. Holy jeez, Scott.
Yeah.
They actually are 3-2 against the spread, Kent State, which is better than some sort of powers are. That's better than Penn State is. Penn State are now 0-5 against the spread.
How many people are going to that game? You imagine
Not
that?
many,
You're
Scott.
talking about scalping
Free tickets.
Free tickets? You know, I'll
Yeah,
pay
but
you
think
to
about
take
it,
them off
Scott.
my hand.
If you think about it, though, if you're a Kent State fan, you probably want to go to this one. You have a chance of winning. You never think you're going to win.
Good
Yeah,
point.
this should be their homecoming game, right? And this really should be their homecoming game. I bet it is, actually. Gabe, good job. Gabe, good job.
Thanks,
We'll
guys.
do it all again. Enjoy the weekend, folks. We'll both be back tomorrow.
Football contest season is.
If you're O'Connell, you have a serious decision to make. Like, what is, again, he's been hurt now in back-to-back years, McCarthy.
Yeah.
You don't know what you have. We